defenders spotted that flag, heard the whistle and stopped moving there as Hateley moved into that offside position. So Jim Leighton with the goal kick. Jackson strong on the ball. Stopped there by Goff, looking for some help from the referee, but looking in vain. Houstra inside, that's McCall. Durant again doing well in the air, marked this time by Gordon Hunter. Here's Jackson, screening the ball from McPherson. Farrell looking for Keith Wright. Stevens did well. Now has to retrieve the pass made by Richard Goff. Well, Gary Stevens perhaps not yet fully back to his best after that very lengthy injury spell. Good movement there provided by Jackson for the throw. This is Mitchell. Turned away by Goff, and Hibs will accept the throw at the corner flag. Some work to do for Richard Goff and his colleagues in the Rangers back four. Jackson's layoff. There's O'Neill. Brian Hamilton is going forward. Here's Willie Miller. Headed by McAllister. Blocked by McPherson. Rangers finding it difficult to get the ball out of the danger area. Stevens does so eventually. And Hateley going across to put pressure on the Hibs defence, which he does so very well, Billy. A feature of Hateley's play, quite apart from his attacking qualities, he doesn't give a defence piece.
Well, that's right. He looks very sharp at the minute. I think he's benefited from the fact he's had a little bit of a rest this week, and he looks sharp, he looks powerful, and he's always a threat in the air. That's something that Hibs will certainly have to watch for.
Jackson leaves that to right. Here's O'Neill. Stevens had to be careful there. A rash challenge there could have given Hibs a penalty. Stevens too experienced for that. There's Willie Miller. It reaches Mitchell. Well, he'll be disappointed with that miscued ball across the face of goal. Slicing it behind for the goal kick. Graham Mitchell's been such a superb servant to Hibs, following his transfer on the last day of 1986 from Hamilton Accies.
There's a good opportunity here for Graham Mitchell to fire in a good ball across the face of the goal, but it hits a miserable shot, and away goes the danger from Rangers. Interesting at the minute, Jock, because Hibs seem to be pushing Keith Wright away on that left-hand side and leaving a space in that left channel for Michael O'Neill to break through. And once or twice he's almost caught Rangers on the hop.
Interesting that Hibs have been confident enough to line up with a 4-3-3 formation. The midfield trio has Brian Hamilton on the right, David Farrell in the centre, and Michael O'Neill on the left. But it's Keith Wright who's hugging that left touchline, and very interesting tactics provided by the Hibs manager, Alec Miller. Very much a thinker on these matters. Here's O'Neill. Goff could have said to that. It's kept in play by Keith Wright. Movement ahead from McAllister. Stevens did well, and so did Jackson, closing down Stephen. Space now on the left for Houstra. Robertson goes sprinting past him. Willie Miller took up good position there. Farrell's pass dinked into a space there, hoping to pick up McAllister, but it's McCall. Now Jackson. The late challenge there by McCall on Jackson. The ball had gone straight to Dave McPherson. A rash one that by McCall. He hasn't played since the international in the Olympic Stadium in Rome 11 days ago. So 10 minutes of the match gone, still no scoring. The Hibs with a set piece to exploit, and every Rangers player has been pulled back to face the ball. McAllister towards Tweed. Hateley was defending well for Rangers. This is McAllister. Looking for Tweed again. No real threat from the header. A long trek back for the big centre half. Hateley's on his own there. And Hateley and Miller clashing there. Well, the referee, I thought, must have seen that. And a hand was raised by Hateley. Well, this was certainly a hazardous moment for the big Rangers striker.
This was a little bit of a chance for Hibs there, but it didn't get in a powerful enough header to trouble the goalkeeper, but certainly gave Rangers indication it was going to be a threat in the box.
So Maxwell being left alone by the Hibs front three. Halstra's header. Hunter with Hateley. Headed on by McAllister. Well, both sides, I'm sure, would prefer the ball on the ground. And they have the chance now with the throw. And the referee is now going to have words with Mark Hateley and Willie Miller. Now, this reflects that incident just a few minutes ago when the two players clashed after landing together on the ground. They got up, exchanged some unpleasant words initially, and then a hand was certainly raised by Hateley to push Miller away. And a blow in the face for Willie Miller from Halstra. The free kick goes to Hibs. It's all a little bit untidy at the moment, Billy.
Yes, that's right, it is. It's the game started quite openly and both teams had attacking chances. Rangers in particular had a very good chance, but I think Peter Husser just held on to it too long. But at the moment it's just that little bit scrappy. Both teams are looking for a hold in midfield and they haven't quite found it as yet.
Strong play in defence there by Willie Miller, winning possession back for Hibs. Hamilton's throw. This is Ian Ferguson. I haven't seen a great deal of Ferguson and McCall so far in the match in the Rangers engine room. No free kick given there as Tweed clashed with Hateley. Well, referee McCluskey clearly hopes to settle things down by letting the game flow. Well, he likes the game to run as much as possible, referee McCluskey. Certainly looking to apply the advantage rule whenever he can. This is McAllister for Hibs. Turned away by Stevens. Jackson's return. That's Mitchell. Well, break of the ball there, falling kindly for Hibs to O'Neill. An awkward one for McAllister. High attempt there by McAllister to win the ball from Ferguson. Lifted his boot too high, so it is an indirect free kick to Rangers. So it has to be played from the correct spot. McPherson lofting it towards Hateley. He won that well enough from Hunter, but Tweed wins it back for Hibs. That's good play by Tweed. Very determined indeed. Showing a good touch in the ball for the big fellow. Confident play by the under-21 international. Known for his physique and aerial power, but showing that he's got a good bit of skill on the ground as well. Mitchell's free kick. Goff leaves that, and Keith Wright goes in behind him. Just a suggestion there of a misunderstanding between Goff and Maxwell. A little dialogue going on there to sort things out. Headed on by Stephen, and Tweed in very late indeed. He had no chance of getting to the ball there and went in very heavily behind Ian Durant. Well, referee McCluskey checks on the damage as Tweed makes his way back to defend.
It's a very rash challenge in actual fact because he's come away out of his area to make the challenge when really he didn't need to do it. This is one of the problems with Ian Durant just playing off the centre-forward position. It always makes it difficult for the centre-half.
Ferguson's free kick. Hateley gets up well. That's comfortably taken by Jim Leighton. Well, Jim Leighton played on the Aberdeen side, which beat Hibs in the League Cup final in 1985, and Gordon Hunter, his teammate this afternoon, was on the losing side. An awkward one there, the Rangers defence letting that bounce. That's frequently dangerous. Ian Durrant coming across to put pressure on Willie Miller. Here's Miller again. Durrant battling hard for Rangers. So a quarter of an hour of the match gone. Still no scoring. And it's very tense and ill-tempered at the moment. Either side has settled totally to the football, trying to assert themselves physically at the moment to make certain that each opponent knows they're in the match. Careless one by Ferguson, a good bit of recovery work though. This is McCall. Ferguson is Stephen in space. Here's Trevor Stephen. Good slide of foot there, coming forward, and a fine save by Leighton. Wow, question marks for the Hibs defence, allowing Trevor Stephen so much space.
Yeah, he found an awful lot of room in midfield, but he was caught enough to take it on and sends a good shot, which gives Jim Leighton the ability to remind people that he's playing and is a good goalkeeper.
There's another good goal attempt by Rangers. Here's Durrant now with a corner. McPherson and Haitley going for the same ball. Still in play. Here's McCall. Looking for Haitley again. Well, Mark Haitley gets up so well, but Hibs clearly have decided that he must not have any unchallenged header. And if the pressure is applied, it's very difficult for Haitley to be accurate. So we'll see this from the reverse angle, from the wrong side of the field, other side of the field rather. There was the ball played towards Haitley, and you can see he couldn't get any real purchase. Durrant to Stephen. Here's Ferguson. Rangers trying to assert themselves in midfield now with Ferguson and McCall coming more into things. Robertson to Stephen, who's been given a roving commission now for Rangers. Houstra. Graham Mitchell's head up. Stevens gets the better of Wright. Now Ferguson again. Put in by Goff. Ian Durrant's delicate header, a cushioned header towards Peter Houstra, which didn't quite come off. Well, Jim Leighton savouring this occasion. That excellent save will boost his confidence even further after a marvellous start to the season in Hibs colours. Farrell looking for right through the middle. An easy one though for McPherson. This is David Robertson. Haitley took a knock there, and that aerial clash. Well, its reputation has gone well ahead of him, Haitley. He has been competed with all the time. Here he goes again.
It's a typical powerful challenge, but I don't think there was any intent about hitting it, damage it. So Mark Haitley's had plenty of knocks. That won't upset him unduly.
Although he did seem to be getting a little bit agitated, Haitley. No question I'm getting a free header so far in the match. And another Rangers move breaks down before it really begins. Miller's throw goes back to Gordon Hunter. Right to Jackson. Ball breaks kindly for Hibs. O'Neill. McAllister now roaming across to the left. David Robertson doing a good job covering his central defence. This is Stephen. And now Stevens. Durrant to Haitley. Putting the pressure again very quickly, but there is now space for McCall. House to the head of him. Good running by McCall, matched all the way though by Hamilton. Fine play by McCall and by Jim Leighton. Well, clear indications there that Stuart McCall is coming right back to his best with that forceful play from midfield.
Yeah, it's a typical powerful run from him, but he shows a little bit of composure at the end of it. Sends in a very good cross, but Jim Leighton's right on his toes, comes out and takes away any sense of danger. Good goalkeeping.
Miller forcing up the line. That's David Robertson's clearance. Here's Ian Durrant. Now Houstra. Stephen again calling for the ball in space. It could be a problem for Hibs, the way Stephen uses his experience to find gaps now. Strong play by Hunter. Still manages a good pass on defence. Brian Hamilton stepping away from McCall, but not from Ferguson. Well, an eagerness about both sets of players, which suggests we're in for an extremely competitive final. You'd expect little else, but there's an edge about the players, which certainly means this game is going to be fought out to the very last. Here's Houstra, being shown inside by Miller. McCall didn't realise Wright was behind him. Here's Ian Ferguson. Now Goff, Rangers putting some passes together. Down goes McCall, fouled by Hamilton. Two very powerful, determined midfield players in direct opposition. Brian Hamilton, who won the Cup medal, the Scottish Cup medal. There's the tackle there by Brian Hamilton, who won that medal for St Mirren in 1987. Before that, League Cup winners medal 2 years ago on the Hibs side. Key man in midfield. Stuart McCall has tasted defeat only once in a domestic cup tie for Rangers. That was against Hibs in the semi-final 2 years ago. Farrell's long pass. There's O'Neill. McAllister drifts off to the left to find space. Now O'Neill. Mitchell's return pass. Good running by Michael O'Neill. Running straight into McPherson. That's Jackson. Now Keith Wright. Well, you can see the idea there to find Michael O'Neill with the first time pass. Good lead by Hateley. Played back by Willie Miller. And Jim Leighton waves Hunter away. Headed on by Wright. Jackson attempting the return. Well, it hasn't taken long in the match so far to bring Walter Smith down from the director's box. He's passed on some words of instruction and then disappeared back up the tunnel. Midway point in the first half, still no goals. O'Neill with Goff. That's Farrell. The pass was too straight. Well, Walter Smith gets back to his seat in the director's box. Well, 20 minutes it took to get him downstairs to sort something out in the Rangers' tactical formation. Good play by Farrell. This is Miller, who made his debut for Hibs here at Celtic Park against Celtic in February 1990. Well, McAllister now back on the right, having roamed right across the Hibs front line. Billy, with Hibs committed to three men up front, it does give Rangers a chance to overload in midfield. Could this be a problem?
Well, that's right. And obviously, I would like to, if I were in Walter Smith's shoes, I'd like to see Peter Husa get more of the ball to see if he can stretch their defence on this side. If he can get a few runs at the fullback, maybe get a cross or two in, that would certainly give Mark Hateley the opportunity to use his aerial ability. At the minute, though, it seems as though Trevor seems the one that's more in the game because he's drifting off the fullback. He's putting a question mark in Graham Mitchell's mind because he's saying, I'm going a little bit deeper. If you don't come with me, I'll pick up the ball. And I think maybe Alex out there trying to get his team reset or get them reorganising. I think he'll just be a bit concerned that Rangers have had one or two little chances.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Rangers have had the edge and chances so far. No serious threat to Ali Maxwell, the Rangers goal yet. Hunter again delegated the task of going up with Hateley. Certainly a few inches shorter than the Rangers striker, but certainly will match him for determination. You'll be sure of that. McPherson playing it forward. Willie Miller showing his confidence in possession. Realised that was a Hibs throw. Stephen dropping back. That's through the middle for Durrant. Fine play again by Hunter. Well, 10 years he's been at Easter Road, the Hibs player. He's just 26 years old, though. Fine defender. An awkward one for the Rangers defence. Right, get a touch. Here's McAllister with a chance. Fine goalkeeping there by Maxwell. And he's entitled to be disappointed with his defence. McAllister had the first chance of the match for Hibs.
Rangers defenders they back off a little bit, leave it an awful lot of room for McAllister inside that box. Doesn't quite hit the shot, but nevertheless Maxwell was up to it. Here we see it from a different angle, and Keith Wright, who's caused one or two problems in the air. A real chance for Hibs, a real let-off for Rangers.
And a fine turn of pace there by Trevor Stephen. That's what caught out Darren Jackson, and there's a free kick to Rangers. Stephen making light of that, to his great credit. Darren Jackson going in late. So a free kick which is taken here by Gary Stevens, and Trevor Stephen offers himself short for that. Michael O'Neill matching him all the way. Long throw possibility though for Rangers here with Gary Stevens. Richard Gough has gone to the edge of the penalty area. Hateley the likely target though. No, he switched that to Gough. And now Miller on the counter-attack for Hibs. Got a call there from Brian Hamilton to hold things up, and McCall read that superbly. Tweed has to get to that for Hibs. Very good defending by Stephen Tweed, but McCall did brilliantly for Rangers in midfield to win the ball. He read exactly the Hibs intentions there, and the Hibs defence undoubtedly stretched at that point. There's the corner, in goes Gough, and now Haustra still in play. Here's Stephen, turned away by Hunter, then by Wright. A little bit of uncertainty there though again in the Hibs defence as Robertson robs McAllister. Good header by Mitchell. Well, Hibs again trying to settle. These were anxious moments for them defensively. Brian Hamilton getting up well. That's David Robertson in the heart of the defence for the moment. Richard Gough makes his way back, having been up to support the Rangers attack. Stephen Tweed can head the ball back to Jim Leighton safely. Well, Alec Miller has put together a very adventurous formation for Hibs, but he must be a little bit anxious about some of these moments in midfield and at the back when they've looked a little bit exposed. Here they go again. Haustra breaking on the left. That's a great cross. Hateley challenging, but again, look at the good work done there by Stephen Tweed. That was very good centre-half play.
Yes, once again we see Mark Hateley starting the move, sent out to Hustra, sends in a good cross, and Hateley's at the back post, but Tweed gets with him and doesn't give him a clean opportunity, and that's what you've got to do. There we see the cross again, and Tweed uses his height to put Hateley under pressure, and the chance comes to nothing.
The header away by McPherson, collected well by Stephen, who's becoming more and more influential in the match. Here's Durant with Tweed. The referee being told by the linesman there was a hand used by Durant. It's a free kick to Hibs. Well, Ian Durant didn't appreciate that little bit of work by the far side linesman. Here's Jim Carlin from Linlithgow. Well, the left arm was used. Keith Wright getting up well, and does that extremely effectively for Hibs. A lot of balls played high to the left flank for him to win. This time he's beaten by Gough. That's Stephen. Just too long for Durant. Stephen Tweed playing it in the midfield for Hamilton. Careless one though, it's picked up by Haustra. Here's Durant. Hateley's found space. Durant wants to go it alone. That's another fine tackle by Willie Miller. Very well timed. On the counter-attack, O'Neill, there's no offside here. Here's McAllister if he can reach this. He didn't make it, the flag is up. Well, that would have been a very promising position for Hibs had the ball stayed in play. It's back from McCall to Stevens. There's Ali Maxwell. Half an hour of the first half gone. Still no scoring, but Hibs have now threatened that good attack a few moments ago with McAllister's shot well saved by Maxwell. Rangers, though, have been more of a threat than attack. Jim Leighton has had a couple of very good bits of handling. Keith Wright trying to get to that ahead of Richard Gough. It spins away to Maxwell. Graham Mitchell's header. There's Robertson. The Rangers back four pushing forward. They're trying to leave Keith Wright offside, but he reacted well. David Robertson. Headed away by Hunter. That's Ferguson. Hateley's onside. Here's Durant. And once again, the player making the challenge was Stephen Tweed. But Durant looks very lively indeed up front for Rangers.
That's right, but I think Alec Miller will just be a bit concerned that all of a sudden Rangers starting to get a bit of space. They find the room in dangerous areas, and here we see Mark Hateley's free, sends in a nice ball to Ian Durant, and really Ian Durant didn't do as well as he might have done from that chance.
Well, Ian Durant went for this with the right foot. I wonder if he regrets that now. He tried to play it with the outside of the right foot, I think, on the run. So back it goes to Mitchell for Hibs. Headed away by McPherson. This is McAllister. Now Michael O'Neill needs a second attempt to get the ball across, but he was offside. Well, he'll tell his teammates no doubt later that he knew that all the time. The Northern Ireland international has made such an impact since joining Hibs from Dundee United for £245,000. Hunter again with Hateley. Up goes Tweed, well above Durant. Gough winning that from Jackson. O'Neill robbed by Stephen. He certainly showed enough without for the match this afternoon, Trevor Stephen. He is a potent threat, I think, to Hibs. And Ferguson will accept the corner kick, breaking off Gordon Hunter. A chance for McPherson and Gough to go loping forward to join Hateley in the box. So some serious defensive work required by Hibs. Good play by Tweed, but it reaches Stephen. That took a deflection. It'll be another corner kick, I think. Well, Trevor Stephen, the ball reached him, was so calm inside the penalty box, not snatching at anything, assessing all the options before attempting the shot. Well won by Farrell. Durant wants to keep the ball in play for the benefit of McCall. Leighton's committed. So assured now, Jim Leighton in goal. It really is heartening to see such a successful comeback. McPherson's header. Here's Durant finding some space coming off Hunter. Haustra. Durant getting that towards Ferguson. O'Neill stepped in. Here's McAllister. Miller picked out the run made by Hamilton. Now McAllister looking there for Jackson. McPherson telegraphed the pass, which Willie Miller read well for Hibs. David Robertson reacting to a call to send that back to Ali Maxwell. Well, it's very tense indeed and very competitive and tight in the middle of the field. Trevor Stephen appears to provide that extra dimension at the moment for Rangers. There's Durant. The set-up again from Hateley. And Durant clearly disappointed with the finishing effort. But another moment of concern, I think, for the Hibs defence. Eli McCoist and Alexei Mikhalichenko have been sent behind the goal to warm up. And you can bet McCoist is desperate to become involved. So 10 minutes left in the first half. Still no scoring. And a very, very tight cup final. Good positive play by Gordon Hunter. Well, it was expected to be extremely close, and that's the way it's turning out. But there are just the odd sign here. There are signs that Rangers are taking a little bit of a grip. Here's this man Stephen again, setting up Ferguson. There's David Robertson. Header goes beyond Houstra. Farrell to Jackson. Counter-attack possibility here, but Jackson, having assessed the options inside, waits for support to keep the ball. Trying a more measured build-up. Goff's header finds Ferguson. Here's Stephen again. Now Goff. Durant coming off his marker, which does so well in that position. Fouled by O'Neill. It's a free kick to Rangers. Trevor Stephen again has found space. Stevens on the overlap, allowing Stephen to come inside himself. Swept away by Hunter. But not a good spell this for Hibs, Billy.
No, but Rangers have taken a stranglehold, and certainly Trevor Stevens is involved in most of the build-up. He's creating problems for Hibs on that left-hand side, because he's dropping back off the full-back, not being easily marked, and it's creating a problem because Ian Durant's doing the same. And I noticed Gordon Hunter having one or two words with David Farrell. I think that's a problem. He wants him to come back and play that a little bit deeper.
Michael O'Neill back, defending inside his own area, heading away firmly for Hibs. Here's Houstra. Tackled well by Miller, but it breaks for Ferguson. Here's Stevens. Trevor Stephen, brilliant play again. Giving a fine match for Rangers. That's towards Hately. The determination apparent there. He clambered all over Gordon Hunter to get his head to that. Hunter clearly believed he was fouled.
It's good play from Trevor Stevens here. He takes him on, sizes up the option, sends the ball to the back post, and there's Mark Hately climbing in powerfully. I know defenders complain about that at times, but he's really there to challenge for the ball, and that's all he's doing. But look at this little bit of skill from Trevor Stephen. And a tremendous ball at the back post, eliminates the goalkeeper, gives Mark Hately a fair chance.
Stephen again, taking control of the match for Rangers in midfield. And a rather aimless ball played out of defence. Alec Miller trying to calm things down from the dugout area. So Alec Miller still shouting instructions onto the field. As well he might. I think he'll just be hoping at the moment that his team can get to half-time all square. It hasn't been the happiest of first halves. Rangers really have now taken something of a grip of the game, especially in the middle of the field. Now, Jim Leighton taking the ball for a walk here. I think he realises that a little bit of respite is appropriate for his teammates. Farrell in midfield.